Meanwhile, LGD Gaming will be moving on to face, in a best-of-5 matchup, Rainbow 7, who did defeat Unicorns of Love today, which brings us to a rather easy pick, Tyler, for player of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tough. I think you could give it to Kai Wing, Uniboy, Kongwei. Like, they played all excellent. But they did have a loss on the day. They did have an L. There was only one team on the day that was perfect, and that was Rainbow 7. They played one game, Unicorns of Love, a game they had to win, or they might have been in a tie-break, do-or-die situation alongside V3 and LGD, and they won. And this team has played around or won Josedeodo, their star jungler, who I think is the closer of this year. And if you don't know what that means, last year at the Play-ins 2019 closer, now on Golden Guardians, formerly on Royal Youth, was the wildcard player that everyone was talking about. The player that, in scrims and behind the scenes, everyone's like, this guy is good enough to play in the major regions. He's a lightning rod. He popped off in the play-ins. And I was saying Josedeodo could be that kind of player for Rainbow 7. And for the first few days,
Is that how you pronounce it? Was that the proper pronunciation? I actually, I've heard it pronounced 3 or 4 times.
Josedeodo. I think it's Josedeodo.
Okay, Josedeodo.
Okay. I was calling him Jose, but I want to give him... He has earned the Diodo now, Arda. He is now player of the day, so he's not just Jose to me now, he's Josedeodo. I have to say the full name now because of the player of the day in his performance. And they've tried to play through him the first few days. Hit or miss. But today they said, we're going to put you on the Evelyn, a champion where you either make a difference when you hit level 6 and you make a difference early, or you become a paperweight and you're totally useless. As seen by when Mad Lion Shadow played her twice, and it was abomination. It was not very good to see, Arda. But we saw the good side of Evelyn when Josedeodo and Mad Lions played around her in the bot side, did a teleport bot, did a tower dive, got an early lead, and just kept pressing forward. The solo lanes played really well, and they snowballed their the early gank into Josedeodo, just going wild. They put their money and gold into him. He kept snowballing, getting those kills, getting those solo kills, and eventually Unicorns of Love, even though they're a team that can come back from big deficits, if you let them breathe a little. They're a team, Unicorns of Love, if you let them breathe even a tiny bit like LGD did, they can come back because they're crazy enough to think of strategies. They are talented enough individually to make these big plays and outplays happen that turn the door if you give them a little bit of an opening. Rainbow 7 gave them no opening. They smashed them in the early game, they smashed them in the mid game, and there was no late game because they were already smashed to smithereens. So Rainbow 7, their most impressive performance was today. So going into a match with LGD, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be extremely interesting. I think it comes down to Josedeodo versus Peanut. Peanut has had a terrible, terrible world so far, outside of the last match versus V3. I don't think much of V3, but Peanut did look good on the Graves. But Josedeodo versus Peanut, a best of 5. Whoever's the better jungler on the day, whoever can play around their jungler better will win that series. And even though the logical, even in my brain's still yelling at me, LGD, don't pick against them. They're going to do it. They're going to find a way to survive. Josedeodo, as I said, is a special player, and special players can make big moments. And there's no bigger moment than knocking out a Chinese team in play-ins in China.